Hello, you are with Chinchu. Today we are going to discuss a very sensitive topic. I was really doubtful about uploading a video on this topic, but when I realized the hazardous effects on health, or you could say the deadly diseases being caused by this product, I couldn't stop myself from sharing this information with you. Millions of women menstruate every day. Then why are periods a taboo? In this video, I'm going to explain why you should stop using sanitary pads. And towards the end of this video, I'm going to discuss some of the positive alternatives you can use. Although sanitary pads mimics pure cotton, but that's not the only component which is being used for the manufacture of pads. There are various other components such as dioxin, cellulose, I'm going to explain in this video, which is being used to manufacture sanitary pads, which can be extremely hazardous to your health and it can be deadly. The very first component of pad is cellulose gel. It is very dangerous. It can cause up to cervical cancer in women. As the sanitary pads is being advertised as being safe, but that's not real thing. In addition to cotton, there are many other components as well, such as nylon, synthetic fiber, plastic, and so on. To make these pads look ultra white, they are making use of materials or components like dioxins, which have bleaching properties. It makes the pad look ultra white, but this dioxin is extremely dangerous to our health. I couldn't believe how people can take diseases such as cancer lightly. You know what? The number of cancer patients in India is rising extremely high. And the number of people suffering from cancer is always on a rise, and it could be even more in the coming future. Just take it seriously. I'm not blaming this particular product only for that. There are various kinds of products which is being used on a daily basis by each and every person, which is carcinogenous in nature. Carcinogenous means which has the capability to cause cancer. I would suggest that before making any kind of product a permanent part of your life on a daily basis, at least do some research work, a little bit of research work before accommodating it in your daily life. Because prolonged use of carcinogenous products or products like this which has the capacity or the ability to cause cancer could be deadly. Dioxins could be hazardous to health. It can cause from ovarian cancers in women up to infertility. The next component or the third component is deodorants. Deodorants is being used in pads in order to just control the odor. It is also not good for our health. It can cause various issues like from infertility to even issues or problems while giving birth to babies. The next component which is being used in pad is pesticides. Pesticides is being used in order to just enhance the look as well as the look and feel regarding that particular pad. It can cause various kinds of cancers and infertility as well. Dioxin is a substance which causes cancer in human tissues. It can also cause pelvic inflammatory diseases and also endometriosis, which can be life-threatening. Along with infertility, hormonal imbalances as well as menstrual disorder. On an average, every woman goes through around 500 menstrual cycles throughout their lifetime, which would be equivalent to around 2,500 menstrual days. So just imagine, in these 2,500 days of her life, she would be exposed to these harmful or hazardous toxins, which can be life-threatening for her. What could be more dangerous than this? Don't fall prey to the harmful toxins of these ordinary pads when there are a lot more positive and healthier options out there in the market. Next reason is wetness. Due to the use of various ingredients such as nylon, synthetic fiber, in addition to cotton, there is always some kind of wetness in it. In order to control this wetness, this gelling agent works well. This gelling agent tries to hold or control this wetness, due to which infections are being caused, from minor infections to even major infections. Next component in pad is plastics. The kind of plastics which is being used in the manufacture of pads is extremely of bad quality and it is extremely harmful as well. It can cause up to cancer. Now just take a moment to think upon it. Just think about the consequences before just continue using this product. Even though they know that something is really hazardous or really bad for them, they are reluctant to change. Why is it so? It is always good to make changes when it is required. Don't just continue to do something just because you are reluctant to change. At least it should not be done at the cost of your health. Now let's talk about the disposal of sanitary pads. In India, every single year, our municipalities are trying to dispose almost 100 crores of pads. I won't ask you to like this video, but for sure share with your loved ones and everybody out there who can be aware of the hazardous effects of this before using or continue to use products like this. These pads contain non-biodegradable components due to which it will never decompose completely first of all. Even if it decomposes to some extent, it will take around 500 to 800 years for one single pad to just get in order to get it decomposed. Then it just keeps floating in water bodies or landfills. It just keeps going like that. Some people try to burn these pads by just rolling in plastic bags or paper, newspapers or somewhat like that. They try to just burn it up. Burning of these pads releases carcinogens, components which are carcinogens into the air, which causes cancer. So by just breathing that air in, you are at a higher risk of getting cancer. Now I am going to discuss some of the alternatives which can be used. The first one is tampons. I won't suggest or recommend tampons as well, because in case of tampons also this gelling agent and itching concept will come. So there is not a big difference between these two. I'll give you a rough price as well. Tampons are costlier than these sanitary pads. An average cost of tampons per period, I'm not saying per tampon, I'm saying per period of a woman would be 120 rupees around. It is not going to be, tampons are not going to be a best solution. So what are the best alternatives? Every month the woman goes through menstrual cycle, right? So it is extremely important to use the right products with the right usage. It should be practical for using as well as it should be affordable to each and every woman. So we are going to discuss some of the alternatives which can be used, and it's completely safe as well. Another feasible alternative or a product which can be safely used is cloth pads, which can be reused. It can be washed, dried and used again, are the cloth pads. Cost would be around 250 rupees for per pad, but obviously it sounds extremely costly, but it is not, because these products can be washed over and over again and can be reused up to 2 to 3 years. The problem or another hassle of using cloth pad is that it has to be washed really well or washed thoroughly before reusing it, and the second point is it has to be changed every 4 hours. So it's not a very practical option for every woman who would be working, who are extremely active and not staying at home for long. There are a lot of campaigns which has been discussing the harmful effects of using these cloth pads as well. Problem with that is it might cause infections or some kind of diseases. But it is extremely important to dry these cloth pads in sunlight. I say it again, in sunlight, in order to sterilize it completely. Once you have thoroughly washed the cloth pads and dried it under sun, then it's completely sterilized and it would be safe for usage. Otherwise it can cause infections or some kind of diseases. It's very important to keep that hygiene. And these cloth pads has to be changed in every 4 hours, right? So obviously you would require at least 4 cloth pads for one period. That means in order to go through one period you would require at least 4 cloth pads, and each will cost around 250 rupees, around 1000 rupees. Okay, don't think that we are spending a lot of money on this. Of course not, because even 250 rupees you are spending for one cloth pad is, don't equivalent it with sanitary pads because it's not reusable. But the cloth pads are reusable. You can just reuse these cloth pads up to 2 to 3 years. So obviously the cost will, over a period the cost will, or the average cost will come down to 27 rupees per period. Another feasible option or a practical solution is the use of biodegradable sanitary pads. Obviously it is much safer to use because it is free from harsh chemicals, ingredients or components like dioxins or artificial fragrances. So it's safer to use since it's made of natural products or natural ingredients such as bamboo, cotton and so on. The cost of one biodegradable sanitary pad is around 13 rupees, and you will be requiring at least 12 for going through one single set of periods, and the average cost for one period would be 156 rupees. The most important, or I would say the best product to go through your periods is of course menstrual cups. What exactly a menstrual cup does is it collects the blood instead of absorbing it. So once it is being inserted, it will create a vacuum and fits in so well that there won't be any cases of leakages or making the clothes stain. It will fit in so well that you can just feel that comfort. These menstrual cups are made of medical grade silicone, which is completely safe. It's an inert safe material which does not react with the body at all. Another greatest advantage of this particular cup is that you don't have to change it quite often. Menstrual cup needs to be removed and cleaned only in like 8 hours or even 12 hours. So there is no hassle of changing it quite often. Moreover, there is no hassle of disposal of this menstrual cup. Once it is being bought, you can just use it for 5 to 7 years. So this is almost the best product which can be used for menstrual cycles in comparison to all other products which is being available in the market, but still the cost is very less in the sense just 1/7 of the normal sanitary pads. One menstrual cup is around 500 rupees, but once bought it can be used around 5 to 7 years. It simply means an average cost of your periods while using menstrual cup is just around 8 to 7 rupees. In case of menstrual cups also, some are releasing pink colored or various colored menstrual cups which can be harmful. So it would be necessary to use colorless menstrual cups. The only problem with menstrual cup is the fear of using it. Before the first use, menstrual cup has to be placed in boiling water and it has to be boiled up to 10 minutes in order to make it completely sterilized and clean. After your periods, just wash it thoroughly in boiling water, air dry it, and just keep it clean and safe in a cloth bag which comes along with the cup itself. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to subscribe my channel. And one thing I want to tell you as always is stay healthy out there. It's so much important to stay healthy. Bye bye.